I'm so sorry, but someone claiming to be you just called and canceled your June booking. They knew your full name, date, everything. I was at my desk when the venue coordinator called. I never made that call. My stomach dropped. And that's when I knew. They weren't just disappointed. They were at war. My name's Isabella. I'm 26 years old. And the day I got engaged was supposed to be one of the happiest days of my life. Instead, it became the beginning of a nightmare I never saw coming. I work as a freelance graphic designer. I'm the middle child in a family obsessed with image and status. My older sister Vanessa is a lawyer married to a surgeon. My younger brother's in med school. And me, I was always the creative one, which was just code for the disappointment. I wasn't making six figures. I didn't have a corner office, but I had something they couldn't buy. I was happy. I met Tom 3 years ago at a coffee shop. He's a high school English teacher. Kind, thoughtful, completely himself. My family hated him the moment they met him. They smiled at him over dinner, but I saw the way my mom's mouth tightened when he said he taught public school. I thought they'd come around. I really did. If you've ever been pushed aside by family, subscribe right now and tell me where you're watching from. Because what happened next, I wouldn't wish on anyone. 3 months before what was supposed to be my wedding day, Tom and I went to my parents' house for dinner. We were nervous, but hopeful. We had big news. I remember the weight of the ring on my finger as we sat down at their dining table. The tablecloth was pressed. The china was out. Everything looked perfect. My mom poured wine. My dad asked Tom about his summer break. Vanessa scrolled on her phone, barely looking up. And then Tom squeezed my hand under the table. I took a breath. "We have some big news," I said. "Tom proposed?" And I said yes. Silence. My mom's smile froze on her face. "Oh, well, that's fast." My dad set down his glass. "A teacher's salary. How exactly do you plan to support her?" Tom stayed calm. "We support each other, sir." Vanessa laughed, sharp and cold. "Bella, you can't be serious. You're going to live in a one-bedroom apartment forever? What about kids? Vacations?" "We'll figure it out," I said. "We love each other." Vanessa didn't even look at me. "Love doesn't pay for private school." My mom leaned forward. "Sweetheart, have you really thought this through?" My dad cut in before I could answer. "If you insist on this wedding, don't expect us to fund it. We weren't asking you to," I said quietly. Silence fell like a guillotine. Then my mother stood. She dabbed her mouth with her napkin, folded it carefully, and said, "Then don't expect us to attend either." Vanessa smirked into her wine glass. Tom reached for my hand under the table. We didn't say another word. We just left. In the car, I cried. But underneath the tears, I felt something else. Relief. Like a weight I'd been carrying my whole life had finally cracked. Tom drove us home in silence. He didn't try to fix it. He just held my hand. And I thought, okay, that was the worst it would get. I had no idea it was just the beginning. 2 weeks later, I was at my desk working on a logo design when my phone rang. It was the venue coordinator. Her voice was apologetic but firm. "I'm so sorry, but someone claiming to be you just called and canceled your June booking. They knew your full name, date, everything." My heart stopped. "I didn't call," I said. "I never canceled anything." She hesitated. "We can't hold the space if you're canceling. We have another couple ready." I begged her to wait, to investigate. She said she'd check the call log. 20 minutes later, she called back. "The number matches your mother's area code." I stared at my phone. I texted my mom. "Did you cancel my wedding venue?" Her reply came fast. "I don't know what you're talking about. Maybe it's a sign." Tom found me sitting on the floor of our apartment, shaking. "We'll find another place," he said. "We don't need them." But it didn't stop. A week later, I went to the bridal boutique for my final fitting. I was standing in front of the mirror in my dress when the door opened. Vanessa walked in. I hadn't invited her. My mom must have told her the date. "Bella," she said, loud enough for everyone in the shop to hear. "You can't wear white. Everyone knows you've been living with him." I felt my face burn. "Vanessa, leave. I'm trying to help you. You're embarrassing the family. This whole wedding is a joke." The consultant stepped forward, uncomfortable. "Miss, I need to ask you to leave." Vanessa grabbed her purse. "Fine. Enjoy your clearance rack life." The door slammed. I stood there shaking, surrounded by mirrors. The consultant brought me tea. She didn't ask questions. I almost canceled the dress order. But underneath the humiliation, something else was building. Anger. 1 month before the wedding, my Uncle Raymond called, my dad's brother, a wealthy real estate developer. He asked me to lunch. I thought maybe, just maybe, someone in my family was finally going to offer support. We met at a cafe downtown. He ordered for both of us without asking. Then he slid an envelope across the table. "There's $30,000 in here," he said. "Enough for a down payment, a honeymoon, whatever you need." I stared at him, confused. "Uncle Ray, I don't understand." "All you have to do is call off this wedding. I know someone. Good family, good money. He's interested in you." My stomach turned. "You're bribing me to leave, Tom?" He leaned back in his chair. "I'm offering you a future." I stood up, left the envelope on the table, and walked out. As I reached the door, I heard him on the phone. "She'll come around. They always do." That's when I realized this wasn't about Tom. It was about control. What they didn't know was that I wasn't just sitting there taking it. I'd been documenting everything. I saved the texts, the voicemails. I even recorded the lunch with Uncle Raymond. It's legal in my state. Tom and I had been saving for years. I had a private account my family didn't know about. The wedding was never dependent on them. And Tom had said something to me early on that stuck. If they try anything, we go bigger. We make this day ours. Completely. I wasn't alone either. My wedding planner, Sarah, had dealt with difficult families before. During our second meeting, she said something I'll never forget. Some families fear happiness they didn't arrange. I wasn't the pushover middle child anymore. I was a bride with a plan. And they were about to find out exactly how much I'd learned from watching them play games my whole life. After the venue sabotage, Sarah sat down with me and Tom. "I've seen this before," she said. "Families who think love is a business transaction." Tom looked exhausted. "Maybe we should just elope. I don't want Bella to suffer." I shook my head. "No, I'm not hiding. This is our day and we're doing it right." Sarah smiled. "Good. Because I have an idea." She connected us with a boutique garden estate. All-inclusive. Even better than the first venue. It was slightly over budget, but my savings covered it. We moved forward in secret. I stopped responding to the family group chat. My mom assumed I'd given up. One afternoon, I stopped by my parents' house to pick up some old photos. No one knew I was there. From the hallway, I heard my mom on the phone with my aunt. "No, the wedding's off. She finally saw sense." I knew she would. A pause. "Raymond said she's considering that nice boy from his firm." I didn't say a word. I grabbed the photos and left. They were telling the entire extended family the wedding was canceled. 2 weeks before the wedding, I got a group text. "Family Christmas is December 10th. Adults only this year. Sorry, Bella. Trying to keep it small." The wedding was December 12th. They were excluding me while pretending my wedding didn't exist. Tom saw the text. "Let me call them. This is insane." "No, I said. I'm done defending us. Let them think they won. Sarah finalized the guest list. No one from my immediate family was invited. We hired security for the gate, and I wrote 4 letters, one for each of them. December 8th, 4 days before the wedding. I drove to my parents' house unannounced. I didn't call ahead. I just showed up. When I walked in, they were all there. My parents, Vanessa, Uncle Raymond. Perfect. We need to talk. My mom's face went pale. Bella, sweetheart, we didn't know you were coming. Stop, I said. I know what you've been doing. I placed a folder on the table. Cancelled venue, harassed my planner. Told half the family the wedding's off. My dad waved his hand dismissively. You're being dramatic. I have recordings, I said. Voicemails, texts. Uncle Ray, I have you on tape offering me 30 grand to dump my fiancé. Raymond's face went white. Vanessa stood up. We were trying to protect you. From what? I said. Being happy? Being loved? My mom's eyes filled with tears. You don't understand. We wanted what's best. My voice cracked, but I didn't back down. You wanted control. There's a difference. I pulled out 4 envelopes. I handed one to each of them. The wedding is happening. December 12th. This is your formal disinvitation. My dad stood, his chair scraping the floor. You can't be serious. You told me not to expect you, I said. I'm just making it official. My mom rushed forward. Bella, please, we can fix this. I looked at her. Really looked at her. You can't. Because I don't need you to. Vanessa's voice was bitter. You'll regret this. I stopped at the door. The only thing I regret is waiting this long. I left them standing there in shocked silence. Tom was waiting in the car. Did you do it? I did. We drove away, and for the first time in months, I felt light. December 12th. The garden estate glowed with tiny white lights and winter flowers. 80 guests filled the space. Friends, Tom's family, co-workers. Sarah, my planner, standing near the entrance with the biggest smile. I wore my dress. I felt beautiful. I felt free. Halfway through cocktail hour, Sarah's radio crackled. She walked over to me, calm. Your parents, sister, and uncle just arrived at the gate. They're demanding entry. I took a breath. Handle it. Sarah nodded. She walked to the gate herself. I didn't hear the conversation, but I saw my mom's face from a distance. Shock, anger, desperation. Security stood firm. This is a private event. You're not on the list. My mom tried to argue. They didn't budge. And then they were turned away. I watched them leave, and I felt nothing but peace. The ceremony started at sunset. I walked myself down the aisle. My choice. Tom cried when he saw me. Our vows were personal, honest, full of promises about partnership and respect. I looked into his eyes and said, I marry you because you see me, not who you want me to be, who I am. The reception was joyful, full of dancing and laughter. At one point, I saw my parents' car drive slowly past the gate, just once. I didn't feel hurt. I didn't feel anger. I felt free. For once, their absence didn't hurt me. It freed me. If this story hit home, I need you to do something for me. Hit that subscribe button and drop a comment telling me where you're watching from. I read every single one. Have you ever had to stand up to family? To choose yourself over their expectations? Your story matters. Share it below. And if you know someone who needs to hear this, send them this video. You deserve people who celebrate you, not control you. I'll see you in the next one.